welcome to See It Drive. Today we're driving the Volkswagen Passat Wagon, which, like all the other Volkswagens in the range, has a very standard design. They've carried the design across their model ranges, and I think that's an important design element that Volkswagen have introduced.
Well, their cars tend to evolve very slowly over time. They're clean, they're simple. I think they lack a little bit of character from time to time. It's not a car that visually excites me.
Well, see, that's the difference. It visually excites me, but I think because I like plain cars, I prefer a car to have simple design than outlandish design, because you know why? It keeps its value in terms of looks. In 5 years, this car will still look good. Compared to a car with a big pointy nose and whatnot, that they age quickly.
Yeah, and when it is superseded eventually, you're right. I mean, you're still going to have a car that looks relatively similar to the new model, so you're not going to suffer that depression when you see the new Passat drive past in the future.
Let's look at what's on board. It's it's well laid out. Interesting dashboard. It's got a very simplistic stereo display system, but very user-friendly, as opposed to the more advanced sort of visual sat-nav system that we've seen in the others.
The full-colour LCD screen
has some weird little drawers and things in the middle of nowhere, and the actual dashboard layout I think is very good. Large tacho, large speedo, small temperature and fuel gauges with a good multi-function display in the middle, which has some really great little features. Firstly, it takes you through your audio settings as you like, but also the basic system or trip details, consumption, travel time, speed warning, average speeds, your current route, just different things like that are very easily displayed. And then the other more regular information, the time, the date, the tacho, are all within the revs and the speedo. So I think it's very well laid out.
Well, overall, it's a very pleasant, sophisticated place to be, the cabin. I mean, it just oozes quality once again, as all these Volkswagens do. There's no creaks, there's no rattles, it just feels solid and very well built.
It's clear that they've gone here for a family design. Yeah. This is not a sports car, it's not meant to look like a sports car inside. It's a very user-friendly design from door to door, basically. Let's look at the interior space. Easy space for 4 adults, and 3 in the back if they're younger, and a really good sized wagon boot. And this one has a great cover over it. I think size-wise, it's perfect. I drive, and I'm happy to admit, I drive a 3 Series BMW, and for me, it's a great sized car for me and my wife. The problem with it is, you have one child, and the amount of storage you need goes up. This, to me, is the perfect car for that environment. If you've got a small family, plenty of space back there for a nice trip. I'm sure you can get a cargo barrier if you have to load it right up. Really well laid out.
I drive a Nissan Maxima and I hate it, but that's largely irrelevant here.
So this one also has a great sunroof, really simplistic and simple tilt, or in the opposite direction, a complete withdrawal. And then outside there's those nice silver chrome style, not chrome, it's brushed metal more than anything, roof racks, which feel solid, like they're real metal.
Yeah, really completes the look.
Exactly, they accent the look perfectly. This is a beautiful colour blue too.
Yeah. It's the same engine that powered the EOS, which we drove a little bit earlier. It's a 147 kilowatt TSI engine, it's a turbo, 4-cylinder. I think in this application, I think this car is just a little bit heavy for it. It's not sluggish, the power's there, but once again, it's hardly an exhilarating burst of power. I don't know, I'm a power freak, and I do apologise for that, but I just thought it leaves a little bit to be desired in this car.
And I think you've made the perfect point there. This is not a car for someone who needs power. That engine suits this car because you don't need power with this. You need it to get you places, and you need it to get places well. This accelerates when you need it to, and handling wise, I think it's definitely looser on the road than the performance.
That's one thing
that we've driven. But
yeah, I found the ride quality a little bit rough, a little bit terse, a little bit coarse. I don't know if that's because it's a station wagon. It feels a little bit softer in the rear, but it's not the sort of car you're going to throw into corners, but it's more than capable at the end of the day for what it's made for.
I think basic driving though, these simple seats, they're not sports seats, they're actually, I find these seats
are
extremely comfortable.
Well, they appear to be quite flat bottom with little lateral support, but that's not the case. You tend to sink into them.
Exactly, they absorb you and give you good support. I think they have great support. Look, bottom line, I think it's a fantastic car. You're talking into the 50s again, mid-40s to 50s, depending on options and things. And I think once you end up putting in the auto and different things, you will end up paying that. But in that market and this mid sort of size car, I think it's got some real value.
You're probably right. We should mention that it's also available in a V6 model, which is 184 kilowatts, and also involves all-wheel drive. So you can upgrade this car if you wish.
Just with the centre console, again, a very good layout, just under that simplistic but easy to use stereo, simple and very well laid out. Climate control, dual zone, heated seats. You know, it has some great little things that really add value to what you're looking for. And if you're going to compare model to model and make to make, these are the little things that could tip you over the edge.
Well, there you go. No major complaints of Volkswagen Passat. We're both relatively happy.
Absolutely.
I'll give it a score of around 7.5, maybe 8.
I'd probably go the same, 7.5 to 8. But I can't really pinpoint why. I'd take 2 points off. I just know that, you know, with the basics of potential support and performance, some people would look for. You got to look at it around 8 out of 10. So probably 4 stars.
Absolutely. It's a pleasing, satisfying drive, and you just saw it drive on See It Drive.